Today we're taking a look at the Maxim Seine X Espresso machine. I'll be honest with you, this is the most exciting coffee machine I've tested recently. It looks stylish and packs some serious tech. It has dual built-in scales for grinding and brewing by weight, can brew and steam simultaneously. You have various brewing modes with pressure profiling, and it can even make pour-over. The steam wand has infrared temperature control, and a whole lot more features. Maxim sent me this machine for testing, but they haven't provided any input or advertising fees. I've been using it for over a month now and tested all its functions. Let me walk you through all the features and how it actually performs. Let's start with the unboxing and accessories. Right from the packaging, this machine stands out. The box looks really well designed, and there are tons of accessories included. I shared a quick unboxing video earlier, so if you want to see that, there's a link in the corner. You get two 58mm portafilters, one spouted and one bottomless, both with these nice walnut handles. These aren't compatible with regular E61 portafilters because the tabs are thicker, but honestly you probably won't need to use other ones anyway. Here's a box of accessories. Inside you'll find a cute little WDT tool, an extra 3-hole steam tip for stronger steam power, and a pack of replacement parts like rubber gaskets and such. They've also included all the puck prep tools you need. There's a solid distributor that can adjust the depth, a full metal calibrated tamper with a spring mechanism, a magnetic dosing ring that fits perfectly with the portafilter holder, and a tamping station to keep everything organized. You also get a stainless steel milk pitcher, a really useful brew group cleaning brush, a towel, 2 single shot baskets, and this huge bellows. This bellows fits over the bean hopper. You can press it a few times after grinding to reduce retention, but it looks pretty bulky when it's on, so I usually don't use it. There's a thick brand introduction booklet. It comes with most of what you need to get started. You're probably paying for it in the price, but having everything ready out of the box is convenient. The initial setup is fairly straightforward too. You need to connect 2 water tubes to the water tank under the machine. They're clearly marked. White connects to white, black connects to black. Power buttons on the bottom left. Turn it on and you'll see the welcome screen. Set up Wi-Fi and it guides you through each step. Make sure both levers are closed, fill the water tank, then it runs initialization for about 4 minutes. After that, you're ready to brew. The first thing that struck me about this machine is how stunning it looks. It combines retro and modern design elements in a way that's really eye-catching. The machine has these smooth, rounded lines, and honestly, it looks great from every angle. Those big levers on both sides just look fantastic. There's LED lighting under the grinder and group head, plus LED ambient lights on both sides. When you turn it on at night, it looks absolutely beautiful. Aside from the water tank, bean hopper, and drip tray, which are plastic, most of the machine uses quality metal materials. The dosing chute, top cover, front panel, and drip tray cover are all stainless steel. The brew head and foldable scale are aluminum alloy. The base uses aerospace aluminum, while the sides and back panel are zinc alloy. While the design looks quite complex at first glance, it's actually pretty straightforward. The left side handles grinding, the right side handles brewing. Each has its own touchscreen. Just like the Meraki I reviewed before, it has 2 integrated scales. This portafilter holder is actually a scale itself, so you can grind by weight. The fold-out platform on the right is also a scale, which lets you brew by weight. Right below the screen is the 58mm heated brew head, with a hot water outlet next to it. Pull the steam lever forward to get water, you'll see the real-time amount here, and you can adjust the default volume in settings. There's this long steam wand that rotates and adjusts to any angle you want. It even has an infrared temperature probe on top. You can set your target milk temperature, and it'll automatically stop when it reaches that point. I'll show you this feature in more detail later. At the bottom, there's a pull-out drip tray, and behind that is the 1.8-liter water tank. One thing that's a bit inconvenient is that the water tank is connected with tubes, so changing the water isn't as easy as machines with removable tanks. Overall, Maxim put a lot of thought into designing this machine. There are many clever design touches that are both beautiful and functional. Every time I look at it, it really catches my eye. Now let's take a closer look at the grinding system. The dial on the left adjusts grind size across 70 settings, covering all brewing methods. It's actually stepless, so you can make fine adjustments between settings. For espresso, I usually start dialing in around setting 25. For pour over, I use around setting 50. When you adjust it, the screen shows the corresponding number for reference. On the screen, you can set different grind settings for single or double shots. Once you're in the interface, hit the settings button. If you want to grind by weight, you can set the dose in half-gram increments. You can also grind by time with 0.1 second adjustments. But personally, I only use grind by weight since it's more precise. You can even adjust the RPM. For pour over, I drop it to 350. For espresso, I usually set it to 600. Having this many options on an all-in-one machine's grinder is actually pretty rare. The bean hopper up top has a simple switch. Slide it left to stop bean flow, slide it right to open it up. When you want to change coffee beans, you can close it and remove the hopper. This helps prevent wasting beans. Remove the bean hopper and you can see the burrs inside. There's a red safety lock here, but I'd still recommend turning off the machine first if you want to clean the burr. This is a 38mm conical burr set, which is pretty common for espresso machines. If you want to remove it for cleaning, don't force it out. Just adjust to the coarsest setting and it'll lift out easily. The dosing chute sits pretty close to the burrs, which helps reduce retention. You can also see 2 pins in the chute. That should be the plasma anti-static system to reduce fine particles from flying around. Let's test the accuracy of this built-in scale. I'm using my Time More scale as reference, first tearing out the portafilter and dosing ring. Then I set the target to 18 grams and start grinding. You can see there's almost no static mess from fine particles. Grinding 18 grams of coffee takes about 10 seconds. And the Time More scale also reads 18 grams. Actually, I've tested this 4 or 5 times, and the average is around 0.1 to 0.3 grams. The design uses prediction, so it stops grinding just before reaching the target weight, then waits for the remaining coffee in the chute to fall down. This time it's off by 0.1 gram, but both the built-in scale and my Time More scale show consistent readings. The coffee is slightly clumpy, so you'll need some puck prep to break it up. But you can see the chute area stays pretty clean with minimal retention. Some people have mentioned the grinder heating up. I can feel the grinding area gets a bit warm. I think it's because it's positioned close to the thermoblocks or boiler, but I've made plenty of coffee with it. The quality has been consistently good. I know many people aren't big fans of integrated grinders. It's true that standalone grinders often produce better results, but this machine is positioned more as an all-in-one home solution. For many people, it's a one-stop choice. One of the key features of this machine is that it offers multiple espresso brewing modes to suit everyone from beginners to more advanced users. On the screen, you'll see standard, constant, and variable mode, plus a super steam option. You can think of these as beginner, intermediate, and pro settings. For beginners, just choose standard mode. Here, you'll find single and double shot options, and in the corner, 2 preset extraction choices. Pressure, temperature, flow, and ratio are all set for you by default. All you need to do is dial in your grind, prep your puck, and press the button. Then, it'll brew automatically. During extraction, you get real-time data displayed, which is super handy for anyone just starting out. As long as your grind is right, making a classic espresso is really just one touch. If you already know a bit about espresso settings, head over to constant mode to customize more details. This is the fixed pressure extraction mode, and with a tap in the top corner, you can create a custom recipe and choose your extraction pressure. I've seen people ask about adjustable OPV on other machines. In this case, you get multiple pressure options directly. You can also set pre-infusion amount and time, and choose whether your brew target is by time or by target espresso weight. There's even more options in the settings, like temperature and flow rate, both standard and constant, allow you to brew espresso and steam milk at the same time. For most people, these modes will easily handle daily coffee needs. Now, variable extraction is meant for more advanced baristas. In this section, you can try different pressure profiling techniques and really taste how changes in pressure affect your coffee. The machine comes with 2 built-in pressure curves. Definitely try them both. Personally, I like curve 2, and I'll show you exactly how it works. I've already dialed in the grind in constant mode. If your grind size is not right, this variable mode will not work. Choose the curve 2 and hit start. As you can see, the machine begin at low pressure to wet the puck, then ramp up to about 6 bar in the early phase, increase to the peak pressure 9 bar for the main extraction, then drop back to 6 bar at the end and finish extraction. It's really similar to the flow profiling I do with the Lillet Bianca. This curve helps reduce channeling and lessens extraction of harsh flavors at the end. Compared to fixed pressure shots, this espresso comes out smoother and much sweeter, with very gentle acidity and little bitterness. It's not as punchy as a classic espresso, but you still get all that great flavor. Tap here, you can also create and save your own custom curves. Set your brew weight, like 36 grams, then adjust pre-infusion time and amount. After that, there are 5 types of pressure profiles to choose from, each with its own strategy. For example, variable pressure and standard pressure prioritize set pressure values, with flow responding to those settings. Flow rate pressure sets different flow rates by time, and pressure is adapted accordingly. Brew weight-based pressure splits up pressure settings by weight, while target pressure lets you select your top pressure for a slow ramp-up that's similar to the lever machines. It's a lot to learn, but if you hit the record button, you can track every shot and grind setting, tweak your curves, and match them to your taste. Besides all these modes, there's a fully manual option you can find in the row at the bottom. Set your max extraction pressure and use the slider on the screen to adjust pressure in real time. It really feels like using the Lillet Bianca, except here you're sliding on the touchscreen instead of using a paddle. Just note, the paddle here is for starting automatic extraction, not flow profiling. You can pick any extraction program from constant or variable in the setting, and set it as your default, flip the paddle, and the machine will quickly launch your chosen mode. This allows you to quickly start brewing. For most people, standard and constant modes are more than enough to make high-quality espresso. Variable mode opens up tons of possibilities. It took quite a few coffee beans and a fair bit of time to figure out all these extraction modes. So if you found this helpful, please subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks. After trying all the extraction methods, I can say this machine really fits everyone from beginners to advanced brewers. It's definitely a highlight of the Maxim Seine X. This machine uses a combination of thermoblock and boiler with PID controllers, plus dual OPV, so you get precise control over both pressure and temperature. I tested the extraction pressure and the water temperature inside the basket using a custom device. It's basically a blind filter fitted with a thermometer and a controllable outlet to set the flow rate. I tested a range of pressure settings. With the 9 bar 91 degrees profile, the gauge at the group showed a maximum of 9 bar as well, and the temperature was very close to 91 degrees. Then I tested the 12 bar setting, and it was just as accurate. That's very impressive. A lot of people wonder if an espresso machine can do pour over. With precise temperature and flow control, this one actually makes it possible. Tap pour over, then choose the default recipe, or create your own. You can set all the key parameters, bloom amount, flow rate, and soak time for each pour stage. It feels very close to doing a manual pour. For this demo, I'm using a light roast Ethiopian. I set the grinder around 50 for a medium grind, dose at 15 grams, and RPM at 300. I grind straight into the portafilter. Then pour the grounds into a flat-bottom paper filter. The whole setup goes on the built-in scale. Here are my settings. Bloom with 30 grams of water and let it sit for 30 seconds. Then do 3 pours, 60 grams each, increasing the flow rate from low to high until the brew finishes. This is similar to my manual routine for this bean. The taste isn't as delicate as a hand pour, but it's still quite good, so if a pour over is what you want, this workflow works well. One issue to note, the clearance between the scale and the brew group is pretty small. Fitting both a dripper and a cup at the same time is tricky. I tried several setups and found only this combo that would fit. Now, let's check out the steaming performance. No matter which espresso mode you choose, you can brew and steam milk at the same time since they're on independent circuits that don't interfere with each other. What's really special is that the steam system has integrated infrared temperature sensing. You can set your target milk temperature, and it'll automatically stop when it reaches that point. Looks pretty high-tech, but how accurate is it? I put my own thermometer in the milk while steaming, and set the target to 60 degrees Celsius. Using this pitcher with about 200 milliliters of cold milk, it took around 37 seconds from start to automatic stop. The screen showed 60 degrees. My thermometer read a bit higher at 64 degrees. The milk surface tends to run slightly cooler than the bottom. So if you want to hit 60 degrees right on, set the target a few degrees lower. The Meraki uses a built-in temperature probe in the steam tip, but this infrared non-contact approach seems like it'd be easier to clean, though the accuracy might be affected by external factors. Still, having this feature really helps beginners get more consistent milk steaming, which is great. You can easily get that nice silky milk texture for latte art and any milk drinks. The steam is also quite dry. I let it run for 40 seconds into the pitcher, and there wasn't much water there. You also get a super steam function with 5 different power levels. But when you use super steam, you can't brew espresso and steam simultaneously. I prefer the regular mode, since gentler steam is easier to work with when you're learning. This machine has tons of settings. Beyond the basic system options, you can adjust volume and brightness, set your preferred units, and control whether the LED lights stay on. There are also global extraction settings like temperature, steam level, target milk temperature, default hot water amount, and more. You can tell Maxim really paid attention to the details when designing this machine. The machine supports over-the-air updates. I've already seen 2 update prompts, which shows the team is actively refining things. You can also check the version number and whether an update is available in the settings. Seine X also supports app remote control. You can power the machine on and off from the app, pick a brew mode to start a shot, and adjust settings there. It's a bit quicker than tapping through the screen. You can also review each extraction record, rate your shots, and save favorites for later. Right now it looks like the app is only available in Chinese. As the machine rolls out, it may be available to all users. Machine maintenance is pretty straightforward. There's a cleaning mode with 2 options: daily cleaning and deep cleaning. You can even set daily cleaning to run automatically at scheduled times. The wastewater flows into the drip tray. Deep cleaning requires placing containers under the brew head and steam wand to catch the water. But just like the Meraki, the manual doesn't mention descaling, and there's no option for it in the machine either. I'll update you when it's time to descale. Also, regularly removing the burrs to clean out coffee residue helps keep your coffee fresh and reduces retention. The drip tray looks great and fits the overall design, but the rounded edges create a smaller catch area. Sometimes when you flush the brew head after cleaning, water can splash out easily. When I first started using it and wasn't used to the workflow, I'd sometimes forget to fold away the electronic scale before flushing. But I believe this scale is waterproof. This is my detailed review of the Maxim Seine X. There are so many features, so the video runs a bit long, but hopefully my hands-on showed every detail that matters. This is definitely an innovative machine with incredibly rich and powerful features. The workflow is really smooth, and even advanced techniques like pressure profiling become smart and automatic. With more features comes more electronics, which might mean higher service needs down the road. Setting those uncertainties aside, it's a very appealing home machine. If you have any questions about the machine, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching.